Hi, I'm Terry Mano, Vice President of Regional Ambulatory Operations.
And I'm Sandra Lindsay, Director of Patient Care Services in Critical Care at Long Island Jewish Medical Center.
Welcome to Northwell Community Series, where this month we are highlighting the power of women in the healthcare industry. So in celebration of Women's History Month, we'd like to honor the impact women have, not only on our organization, but historically as well. You were the first in the United States to receive the COVID vaccine. Could you talk about what inspired you to volunteer for this historic, history-making moment?
Hello, Terry. Good morning. Nice to meet you. I have been a nurse for 27 years, and I have never witnessed so much suffering and death throughout my career as I did during this pandemic. I knew that beyond the preventative measures, that we needed something more powerful, such as a vaccination, to get us out of this dark period that we find ourselves in. I have been a supporter, an advocate for the vaccine ever since I heard it was in development, and I could not wait to get that shot of hope in my arm. I wanted to do my part to decrease the harm, the suffering, the death. Healthcare workers made tremendous sacrifices to be on the front lines, putting their fears aside and coming into work courageously to save lives. I too was very, very scared. So I was, just couldn't wait to get the vaccine. I did not know I would be the first in New York State, never mind the first in the United States to get the vaccine. But, I am humbled and honored to have that platform to be able to instill confidence, particularly in communities of color who I know historically are hesitant about taking vaccines.
Incredible. It's incredible. And you're a woman to boot, so you really represented. Amazing.
Thank you. Terry, you've been able to make history here at Northwell Health and within our communities for your work and accomplishments, especially in regards to employee engagement. Could you talk a little bit about the impact you've been able to make with our team members, especially keeping them engaged during a pandemic?
One of the best things about Northwell is how we all come together when it counts the most. Right? This pandemic changed all of us, and it reminds us of all the things that are truly important. And at the time, and even now, I was overwhelmed with gratitude for all the courageous frontline workers who never gave up, and I wanted to try to reach them in some way. So I began to post messages on our internal Facebook group, Northwell Life, messages of gratitude, messages about kindness and resilience. And as people began to respond, I realized how so many of us needed to feel that connection. So I continued to post messages, sharing my fears, my insecurities, just the thoughts of the day, trying to lend a voice to what I knew others were experiencing. And then when the community and the system started to organize clapouts, I rallied my team and ensured we stood right alongside the community to show our gratitude and support for the tireless people that fight, the frontline care workers like you are. But over time, those clapouts stopped. And there was a post on our internal Facebook group, Northwell Life, from a nurse who was expressing how she felt, not seen anymore. So I rallied my team again. And this time in January and February, as COVID was starting to spike again, we decided to arrange another round of clapouts to make sure the frontline, knew we were still grateful, that we still supported them. We wanted to give them another round of energy to help us get through the next part of this fight. We stood in the cold, we stood in the snow, but it was worth it, right? Because as we cheered, we saw them walk a little taller, smile, and stand a little prouder. And we went back to our offices more energized too. I'm not clinical, so I try to lend my energy and support by standing alongside people like you, Sandra, at testing centers and ambulatory sites, at the vaccination pods. I want them to know that they don't face any of this alone, that we're in this together, and that every single role matters.
So, Terry, what advice do you have for women looking to grow their career in healthcare?
Um, the most important thing is to always stay true to who you are, right? Stay true to yourself. It's important to come from a place of truth, to be genuine in your approach. When we stay true to who we are, we make decisions and choices and form relationships that are more lasting, right? We make things more more concrete to who we represent. Also, always try to find the yes. When we come from a place of possibility, more innovation and collaboration results. I mean, that was evident right here inside of Northwell with our leaders taking something that was completely out of the blue, and collaborating and figuring out an innovative way to make us all safe and to take care of the community. And lastly, advocate for yourself and for your colleagues. I mean, as women, we don't advocate for ourselves the way we should. Um, we need to empower each other. We need to be the voice for those we're leading, the voice for those who don't have one. We have to take the time to lift each other up. And remember, we are so much stronger when we stand together. So what advice do you have for women looking to grow their careers in healthcare?
You know, Terry, I couldn't agree with you more. Authenticity and staying true to yourself is so important, as well as bringing other women along. But for me, I often think about, when I think about growth in healthcare, I think about sports. You never know when you'll be called upon, called off the bench to make a big play, to take your team over the finish line. So I think about growth. When I think about growth, I think about positioning. I think as leaders, as women, we need to position ourselves because we never know when we'll be called upon to make that big play. I think while we're on the bench, humbly waiting for that moment, we should acquire and develop skills that will help us to just shine when we're called on stage to make that big play. So for me, that would be my advice, to get in position and continue to develop and acquire and develop and grow right there on the bench and wait for that big play.
That's incredible. I didn't, the sports analogy alone, it really does make you look at things from a different perspective. And you definitely did that, right? You stepped up, you hit that home run for all of us at Northwell, and we're grateful for that. So it was incredible talking to you and incredible meeting you, to be a part, to sit sort of virtually with you, has been incredibly inspiring. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Terry. And I look forward to growing with you here at Northwell Health.
Thank you.